If you want to support the brother Rod Hayes, for those who want to inquire, some of us remember it by now. The brother's been on the platform for about 2 years now. You can hit him up on the Cash App at $SikApe, capital SIK, capital APE. All right. But the one question I want to get to, shout out to Jordan for sending a super chat. He wants to know, Rod, you said they mixed the third dimension as an infinity loop. How does this correlate to life already being infinite? And what can we all do about it? We'll end the show with that, Rod.
Okay, so the infinity loop is really it's to stick you in a state where you can't really see what you're doing because you're living in two dimensions simultaneously. Nature has to resolve that. So the resolution in nature, you are oscillating between dimensions, the same as when we talked about flux flow earlier, moving in and out of dimensions. When you sleep, you go live whole lifetime sometime in one night. Sometimes people have 4 or 5 dreams that's over 12 hours long in the dream, but when you wake up, you only been asleep for a couple of hours. That's because you interdimensionally shifting and you fourth dimensional matrix as the dreamer, what we call the astral realm. The physical realm is the 3D where everything is believed to be solid, but when you get closer and closer with microscope, you find that nothing is connected. It's space between everything, even the most densest thing. The illusion of density comes in as the separation between things, right? So everything has what's called a physical form, and the physical form is the reflection of the astral form. In the current paradigm we in, there's no mythical beast of the world. Everything is humans and what we call base animals, right? But it was another era where we had unicorns, fairies, gnomes, trolls, and all that stuff. And a lot of those stories are legends, like the Skinwalker story is about the tribes that covered themselves in the skins of the local animal, in order to go to war in stealth against their enemy, right? So we wear wolves, but they suck blood, werewolves and vampires. Talking about the people of the land versus the people that came. Characteristic difference defining the separation in the two. So when they opened up in the Atlantean era, at the end of Atlantis, what caused the collapse was they opened up a portal. The portal was between the third and the fourth dimension. In order to create a barrier, they blew a collider similar to the Hadron Collider in CERN, and they blew a nuclear explosion in there, which caused the third and the fourth to buckle like a slinky spring gets stuck. And that way that we could be in the right side up for so long, but then we in the upside down for so long. And this is what they call the Lucifer lens flip, when you're able to see the upside down when you're in the upside down, and you're able to see the right side up when you're in the right side up. Right, that's called the Lucifer lens, the ability to see fourth and third dimension for what it is instead of what you was told to think it is. Right, that's one of the prerequisites to activating all of your psychic abilities, is to be able to see clear in the dream and while you're awake, so that you'll know which state of condition you are in and which work you need to do. We needed to get out of the infinity loop, and we have to match up a redemption process, a redeemer, with an astrological event called a Muhurta. When the Muhurta come around, that is the keyhole that flips us out of the infinity loop. And that's how we got back on the track to the fifth dimension, by putting it into the public awareness of the Muhurta sufficient amount of understanding to allow us to jump the infinity loop to get on track to the fifth dimensional matrix, which is going to unlock a lot of the disabilities and turn them into abilities. They call it X gene activation in the in comic books, and they call it that also in the scientific world, the X gene activation or the junk genes activation. They know it's coming, and they know it's predicated on the solar event, and they know that there's going to be a Schumann response, and they softly disclosing it. Yesterday, they had a hearing about ships and UFOs in DC. Allegedly, I don't think nobody really there. I think it's all a stage show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna all be told about it, and it'll all be exposed coming up soon, because too many things are converging at the same concept of closure.
Right. Indeed.
And it's the disclosure is going to bring about the closure. My only concern is that people panic out of ignorance because nobody's been informing us enough on what's taking place so that we can prepare ourselves to not be in the way of the problem getting cleaned up and getting cleaned up with the problem.
Yeah.
That's what my biggest concern is right now.
Hey, Rod, man, I want to thank you once again, man, for coming on the channel, coming on the show. Me and Rod, actually, we're going to do a Patreon soon. Just been super busy, so I haven't been able to link up with Rod, but we're going to do a Patreon within the next week. You know, we got this ESP series going, and I want to do a continuation from the last show about extrasensory perception and our ability to tap into that. So for those of you who are on Patreon, stay tuned for that. Within the next week, I'm going to hook up with Rod. We're going to do something with the next week about ESP and extrasensory perception and tapping into that. And I feel as though that's one of the
I was over here giggling to myself, Brother Rich.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that when you call me up on the phone, this same way this show goes, how we be talking.
Same way. Rod, same way. It be smooth like a bug. We just be chilling, vibing. We just, if we recorded them conversations, Rod, the internet would go crazy. They'd be like, oh shit, he was it'd be Rod be dropping shit, man. We just be like, and I'll be absorbing it and like, it's dope. It's dope, y'all. It's dope. So shout out to Rod. This is why I always tell you to make sure you support the brother. The brother put in so many years of. He gave us the cheat code. He put in 15 years of information condensed that we can learn.
30.
Yeah, and we're learning it in hours. We just have to apply it in the right manner. But the brother's a blessing to our community. Make sure you'll support him and what he's doing. Whenever the brother has anything coming up, I know the brother's gonna come out with books soon or whatever. So make sure you support the brother. With that being said, Rod, tell the people your Instagram, because I know that's how they could contact you. So they can.
Well, I haven't been posting on Instagram because I've been in Instagram jail, but my Instagram is SikApe. THGSIKAPE. Yeah. And my Facebook, where I've been posting, I went on a rant a little earlier today. Okay. Is Rod Hayes. My profile picture and my background always changing depending on the message I'm giving. I post there is something different.
Right. Indeed. Hey, and I want to thank everybody. Thank to Jordan. Rod, you see my name at the bottom. I'm officially hey, it's Radiohead Rich now, Rod. It's official. I done graduated, man. Listen, shit. I'm in direct communication with my higher self.
When Elijah came up with that term, we didn't have a common use term called telepathy. There was we didn't know there was no term called ESP.
You said it, Rod. They was gonna start the order out of chaos. Now it's going fast, man. It's happening fast. I know you want to talk about the 4 girls in the bombing. You want to go in on that
Yeah, I
first?
got a couple things I want to chop it
Go
up
ahead,
with you about. Hey, did anybody send you a clip from the governess, Miss Dean, where she wanted us to get in touch with her?
Not yet. They might have did, man, but I get so I'm about to go check. I'm gonna check it now that you said something because I
I
get so
got
many.
I got the clip. She did say it out her mouth.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So she wanna talk about the political prisoners, right? And what's going on with them. Cause the people telling her that I had information that could help her understand their situation, but their situation is coming to a close. But if she asks me anything, I can't lie to her. I gotta tell her the truth. So I don't know what she want to ask me, but whatever it is, I got to tell her the truth. Because she is one of them sisters on the land, one of those clan mothers. So I can't come to her with no BS. So I don't have her information to get in contact with her, but I think a lot of people would like to see us in dialogue.
Yeah, we did
So
one before, didn't it?
yeah, we did one before when I
Yep.
was telling her about the death of the corporation and most people not knowing that she was aware, right? And matter of fact, that clip got hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. You know, so the and it had been shared multiple times, like with different people posting it. So it got some heat. They understand, right? But before I get into the 1963 church bombing, right? Because that's what I wanted to get off my chest. Because we thinking that pale faces did that, but we gonna get into why it couldn't have been pale faces. But we want to talk about a couple of current events. What you seeing right now is the manifestation of a song by Public Enemy featuring Big Daddy Kane and Ice Cube. Burn Hollywood, burn. Most of those areas that was hit by the fire up in Calabasas area was a bunch of Zionists. So
Say it again, Rod.
it was a bunch of Zionists. They was the front people for the people that was holding us in bondage. They was the cover story. And if you notice, just so happened California insurance companies was canceling house insurances about a year ago. They knew it was coming. Insurance companies be spying on government just like anything else because they need to know where they finna lose a bunch of money at so they could patch that leak. They ain't even try to patch it. They just chop that whole arm off. Like, fuck it, just let it go. Right? That's how much you know that they know. Right? The fog. The fog is not fog. The fog is a chemical used in the cloud forming cloaks of gigantic ass ships. The chemical also, you will know it because it'll foam on water, right? It'll foam on water, and it's also got a lot of sulfur content in the cloaking stuff that they use. The irony is the report from the California area is that they had a strong smell of sulfur in the air before the fires. People don't know what sulfur do to fire. So go back to Babylon if you want to understand it. Study the Gehenna fire pit. Gehenna is the place that they call in Islam hell. But it was a definite place in the city called the city of fire. And in that city, they disposed of the corpses of their slaves by throwing them into that pit. This is your weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? So they send them to the trash dump. That's how they executed criminals and expired human avatars, right? Now, the burn Hollywood burn because they took the city of angels, the Califia queens, and overrun it with a bunch of devils. Those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, Lord Set, aka Zeus, aka Yahweh, aka Enlil. Same MF. Same person. So he felt that his wickedness and his wicked seed should be able to sacrifice us in our innocence and in our ignorance. Right? And then they violate the youth before they can become adults. You ever wonder why those sudden adult entertainers just suddenly break through every now and then? You think people ain't been doing that stuff their whole life in their 60s and still ain't got on? You think that's not for a reason? That's why they hate Chris Brown. That's why they hate Kendrick. They not your standard artists. That's why they don't like Pusha T. Right? And then some of us learned how to play their game with a moral compass attached, like James Prince. He paid his artists. They had a little bickering back and forth about the payment schedule early on in Rap a Lot, but now you don't hear nobody complaining. Percy Miller, every time he get an opportunity to give somebody an opportunity, he'll come out his pocket on the spot just to see you make it. And a lot of people didn't attest to this already. Where he paid them up front and he didn't worry about whether he was going to get paid back or not. He figured that if you get bigger later, you'll take care of it. But if you don't, that's on you. Opening opportunity. Tribal culture is to always open the opportunity for the ones coming behind you.
Yeah, extend the hand.
But the corporate structure is gatekeep, block out anybody who gonna outshine you. You don't want to see nobody being better than you, because that's gonna make us take money from you. That's gonna make, and then you can't use your wealth to improve your community. That was standard in a lot of those black entertainers' contracts, or so-called black entertainers. It was standard to put in the contract that they can't do community work, because it'll take away from their artistic performances if they busy worried about doing work in the community. Who violated that agreement to not put money back in the community the hardest out of everybody you know? They went to Hollywood and sent hundreds of thousands of us through an educational system and hope that one of us will figure out what's going on. They canceled him too. Bill Cosby. We want to get on the gossip train and continue to tear the elder down, but the fact of the matter is he got more of us living a comfortable lifestyle based on our ability to be educated and functional in the workforce than anybody else. He's like responsible for more successful people in our community than anybody else. But we want to go on the Me Too movement and tear him down, knowing that the number one tool they use to destroy us is some sex allegations. Because even if they ain't true, they got a legacy of teaching that these big dick niggas can't control that motherfucker. That's they philosophy. So if they accuse us of something, if we didn't do it, we should have did it, or we was probably gonna do it in the future. So they might as well treat us like we already done it. This is still the attachment today. Tell a motherfucker something. If it sound like gossip and bullshit, we gonna ride that shit to the ground. False allegations and all, we don't want to hear it. They accuse him, he got to be guilty. And they sit up there and tell you that a man is innocent until proven guilty. They just didn't tell you that the court system was the railroad station that railroaded brothers upstate. Right? We was fighting people that look like us. Their presence is in our community under the pretense of we fighting pale faces. Can you pull up the picture of them sisters, Elder?
All right, yeah, I got you. Hold on. Hey, while I'm pulling that up, bro. Hey, so the series of events, they had this guy. Could you talk on that? The guy down in New Orleans, like, seemed like as soon as the Pope opened them doors, the guy did that wreck. The Trump hotel explosion. It's like it was a chain of events.
It was. They waking up sleeper cells.
Okay.
They waking up sleeper cells. I've been told people they waking up sleeper cells. I'm watching them do it.
Yeah.
Only reason I know what they doing because I know they code. Right? They put a hit out on Ali Carter. The person that they told to hit her refused, which activated the guy in the NO for the response on the knockback. No.
Wow. But
somebody got to pay. If you don't do what we tell you to do, somebody got to pay. Dang. Right? So then you got the dude blew the truck up in front of the Trump hotel in Vegas.
Right.
What's the Trump card? Trump the big joker. He's the big joker in the deck. The wild card with all of the wild card power. Right? What's the name of the car that the dude was driving that blew up?
Cybertruck.
Who is made by?
Tesla. Elon Musk.
That ain't no coincidence. The code is an LV code. It's a Las Vegas code.
Go ahead.
What's the area code to Las Vegas? Do you know? Somebody probably gonna put it in the comments. Let me look.
I can tell you right now. Yeah.
702. That's a name. That's a finish.
702. All right.
So it's a gamble.
What?
Somebody's betting on a long shot, betting on a wild card. Las Vegas 702 is a 9. That's a finish in a 9 year to the finish. To the 9s is well dressed to the finish. To the 9s mean to the finish. But if you dress to the 9, that means you shitty sharp. Right? So you got the Tesla, right, which is the e-commerce, electronic commerce, transport wirelessly, right? It's wirelessly trained by a star, a North Star Polaris, right? The North Star is, can you pull up the one with their names on it? I want people to see their names.
All right, hold on just a second.
Right next to it in the blue, got their names under it.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna save it there. Okay, desktop. Let's do. Oh, that's not it. Just saying.
Okay, so
I got it.
something is to the finish, right? You remember about a week ago, the White House flashed green. Green is military code for mass evacuation or mass casualty event.
Wow.
So that was in DC, but DC is ice cold, right? You got the mainland, the motherland, Highway 13 running up the East Coast.
Snow.
Right. And so you got Highway 13 running up the East Coast. That's called the motherland. The motherland is cold. And if it's cold, that means the motherland is coded to flip off the fatherland. So the ice princess is flipping the fire dragons loose out west. And so you see the fires. Them fires is not accidental. Them fires is deliberate with bad intentions. But it ain't for us. It's for them people that been over there exploiting people. Okay, so I don't know how well they could see that. Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robinson, May Collins.
Andy.
Yeah, so the Cynthia. The one I can't see is the first one on the that's Denise? Cynthia. Look, it's Denise something, but I can't see her last name.
Yeah, her name is Denise Mena.
Let me look at my phone.
McNana.
Let me tell you 1 second.
Yeah, it's McNana. I think it's McNair. Oh, McNair. Hey, I think it's McNair. Denise McNair, Andy Mayer Collins.
Cynthia so I'm gonna go back over them and I'm gonna give you their names.
Robinson.
No, Carol. Look, this who they is. Denise McNair. Denise McNair was 11 years old. Carol Robertson was 14 years old. Addie Mae Collins was 14 years old. And Cynthia Wesley was 14 years old. So you got 3 14-year-old girls and an 11-year-old girl blowed up in the church in the name of the Lord. Now, one thing about Birmingham, if you go to the history books, more than one of the contemporary historians of the era say it was the most segregated city in the South. I don't know if that's true, but the opinion that there was is that segregation hardline so strong that it was a very segregated city. What do that mean? It means the niggas stay to the niggas and the crackers stay to the crackers. Yeah. Right? And no